Actually, there are 9 countries in this world which have nuclear weapons, and those countries are America, Russia, United Kingdom, France, China, India, Pakistan, North Korea and Israel. But today we will know who among them has the most nuclear weapons. However, if a country possesses even a single nuclear weapon, it is considered a nuclear-armed country. These weapons are so dangerous that now no country is allowed to make them. Nuclear weapons are so dangerous that they can destroy an entire city in the blink of an eye, and you cannot even imagine how dangerous the radiation emanating from it can be. Nuclear weapons have been fired only twice, that two on Hiroshima and Nagasaki of Japan, and about 200,000 people died, and after that day nuclear weapons were never used, which is a good thing. Keeping this weapon can be a huge threat to security and humanity, and this has been said by the person who has made this weapon. If these weapons are with those countries whose international politics are stable, or in other words, with those countries which are completely stable, then it is a good thing. But there are some countries whose possession of such weapons can prove to be extremely dangerous, like Pakistan and North Korea. Their politics are very different. Today Pakistan is becoming very poor, and in such a situation, having these weapons can be very dangerous. So friends, now let us know which are the countries which have the most nuclear weapons. So the first country is United States. The United States was the first country to develop nuclear weapons, and its role in shaping the modern nuclear world cannot be understated. The United States was responsible for creating the world's first atomic bomb, as part of the top-secret Manhattan Project during World War II. On August 6, 1945, the US dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, followed by another on Nagasaki 3 days later. These bombings led to the surrender of Japan and the end of the war, but they also introduced the world to the horrifying power of nuclear weapons. Fast forward to today, and the US maintains a massive nuclear arsenal. It's estimated that the US has about 5,800 nuclear warheads, of which around 1,750 are actively deployed, ready to be launched at a moment's notice. These warheads are stored across different systems: intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and strategic bombers. For decades, the US has relied on a strategy called Mutually Assured Destruction, or MAD. The idea is simple: if one country launches a nuclear attack, the other will respond with an equally devastating strike, ensuring that both sides are wiped out. This deterrence was one of the main reasons why, despite Cold War tensions, the US and Soviet Union never fought a full-scale nuclear war. By the way, America comes second in terms of nuclear weapons. Right now there is a country which has more weapons than America, and now we are going to talk about that country only. Now the next country is Russia. When we talk about Russia's nuclear weapons, we're really talking about the legacy of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was the second country to develop nuclear weapons, detonating its first bomb in 1949. The Cold War was defined by a brutal arms race between the US and the Soviet Union, where each side tried to outdo the other in terms of nuclear firepower. By the 1980s, the US and Soviet Union together had over 60,000 nuclear warheads. But with the end of the Cold War, the Soviet Union dissolved, and Russia inherited much of its nuclear stockpile. Russia's nuclear arsenal is still one of the largest in the world. It's estimated that Russia has around 6,375 nuclear warheads, with about 1,600 of them actively deployed. Like the US, Russia has a mix of ICBMs, SLBMs, and bombers, with a special focus on submarine-based missiles. Russia's arsenal also includes a significant number of tactical nuclear weapons, smaller bombs designed for battlefield use. While these weapons are less destructive than strategic ones, their existence raises concerns about how easily a conventional conflict could escalate into a nuclear one. Under President Vladimir Putin, Russia has taken a more assertive stance regarding its nuclear weapons. Russia's military doctrine includes the concept of escalation to de-escalate, meaning they might use tactical nuclear weapons in a conflict to force an adversary to back down. It's a dangerous approach, and one that adds a new layer of uncertainty to global security. By the way, how many nuclear weapons Russia has not been fully disclosed yet. So far, if any country has the most nuclear weapons, it is Russia. So our next country is China. China entered the nuclear club later than the US and Russia. In 1964, China detonated its first nuclear bomb, making it the 5th country to develop nuclear weapons. China's approach to nuclear weapons has always been more restrained compared to the US and Russia. For decades, China maintained a relatively small arsenal, focused on ensuring a credible deterrent without building massive stockpiles. Today, China has around 320 nuclear warheads. While this is significantly less than the US or Russia, China is rapidly modernizing its arsenal. They are developing new missile systems and improving their second strike capabilities, which means they could still retaliate if attacked first. China has traditionally adhered to a no first use policy, which means they have pledged not to use nuclear weapons unless attacked by someone else first. This has made China's nuclear posture somewhat different from the more aggressive strategies of the US and Russia. But with China's growing global influence and military power, there's been increasing debate about whether this policy will remain in place. China also never provides accurate data, so it becomes difficult to say how many nuclear weapons it has. So let's move on to our next country, which is France. France is the only European country that has a significant nuclear arsenal. France developed its nuclear weapons independently, testing its first bomb in 1960. While smaller in scale than the US or Russia, France's nuclear weapons have played a key role in its national defense strategy, giving it leverage in both European and global politics. France maintains around 290 nuclear warheads. Most of these are deployed on ballistic missile submarines, which are a key part of France's deterrence strategy. France also relies on air-launched missiles, with warheads mounted on aircraft. France views its nuclear weapons as a deterrent against any major threat. The French government has said that nuclear weapons would only be used in response to a nuclear attack or a massive conventional threat. France has also been a strong advocate for nuclear disarmament, though it hasn't given up its own arsenal yet. So our last country is United Kingdom. The United Kingdom was the third country to develop nuclear weapons, testing its first bomb in 1952. The UK's nuclear program was designed to ensure its global influence and security in a post-World War II world where it could no longer rely on its traditional military power. The UK has about 225 nuclear warheads, most of which are deployed on its Vanguard-class nuclear submarines. These submarines patrol the seas, providing a constant deterrent against nuclear attack. Like France, the UK uses its nuclear arsenal as a deterrent. It has made it clear that nuclear weapons would only be used in the most extreme situations, and its nuclear weapons policy is closely aligned with NATO's collective defense. So these were the 5 countries which have the most nuclear weapons, and let me tell you, they have about 90% of the world's nuclear weapons. And you might not know that their number is so high that they can destroy the Earth more than 10 times. That is why there is a strict ban on the use of these weapons, and if any country uses it, then it will have to suffer the consequences. Some people say that nuclear weapons should not be banned, because if they are banned, then there will be a competition among many countries to become the most powerful nation, and many wars may also occur. So friends, according to this, nuclear weapons should not be completely banned, because by banning this weapon, no one will have any fear, and the world will move into the era when everyone wants to become a great power. So friends, this was today's video. If you want to tell me something, you can tell me in the comment section. You can also tell me on which topic I should make the next video. I will definitely make a video on that topic. So that's all in today's video. If you liked this video, then please subscribe the channel. See you in the next video.